Hi, everyone. Welcome to the May 2025 OpenEdX Meetup. I'm very happy to see you here. I'm Esteban Echeverri from Aulasneo. We are a service provider and OpenEdX partner. I'm also a member of the marketing working group, along with Eden Hoodmeyer from Axiom Collaborative and Nicole Kessler from Abstract Technology. We are coordinating these monthly meetups. We're going to start in a couple of minutes. Again, happy to see you here. Let me do some comments on today's meeting. We have 3 presentations, so we have a very packed agenda. Very happy to see lots of initiatives in the OpenEdX platform. We'll have 3 presentations. The first presentation is going to be about the blockchain credentials integration for the OpenEdX LMS via POC. And along with us is Larry Daniels, who's going to be presenting. Then we will have a second presentation from the Talview's AI-powered proctoring. Joseph Abraham and his team will be sharing their solution and how it works with OpenEdX. And finally, we will have a presentation about open source gamification, an open source gamification framework by the Now project, with also with a team from Raccoon Gang, engaging learners beyond the basics, right? So as we have 3 speakers, we're going to start right away. Let me add just a couple of more comments. We'll be recording the session, so make sure if you don't want to appear in the recording, just turn off your cameras. The presenters will take around 15-20 minutes in their presentation. So if you have any questions, feel free to write down the questions for the speakers in the chat room. And then I will facilitate the questions in a Q&A after a couple of minutes when the presentation finishes. And then remember that after the presentation phase, we will have an unstructured networking time in the main room with the different carpet areas where you will be able to reach out to the speakers or any other member here of the community. I think that's all. Another advertisement I had to make. This is going to be the last meetup until the OpenEdX conference that is going to take place the first week of July in Paris, along with the EMUX conference. So if you haven't purchased a ticket, go ahead, do it before it's too late. And well, any other thing, feel free to reach out to me, to Eden or Nicole, so that you have all the information that you need. Okay, so now let's start with the first presentation. Larry, please come and join me in the carpet area so that you can share your presentation.
Hi, everyone. Esteban. How are you doing? Can you listen to me correctly? Amazing. Well, thank you very much for the space. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. I'm extremely enjoying this conference, which feels like a real conference. I like to see everyone sitting down on their chair and finding a space. So it's super fun what we're doing, and hope to add some value with what we'll be presenting. So let's get started. Just give me a second. I'll start showing. So as Esteban said, we'll be sharing a little bit about POK, or proof of knowledge. What are we and what do we do? So basically, what we're doing is on the credential side, trying to unlock human potential through innovation. Basically, through POC, we empower institutions to issue NFTs as credentials, everything that has to do with credentialing, micro-credentials, recognitions, diplomas, and so on. But we're kind of like in a disruption platform. We're doing things in a completely different way than what's being done in the last 8 to 10 years with certifications, basically. So initially, to start off, why are credentials important today for education? What we're seeing is institutions are not competing anymore based on content, that secret formula that existed previously on some institutions in the US, Europe, Latin America, and so on, is not currently what's differentiating institutions. How they are competing today, or what we're seeing and how they're competing, is basically how to moderate and module content to make it accessible for people. It is what we see as content is completely democratized in that sense. YouTube is the best example. So how to modulate that content to become accessible for students, how to create personalized and customize those learning pathways for students, and how to have an impact on them and help them get employed in the market. So those are the three main factors we're seeing institutions are competing, and micro-credentials align perfectly to those three kind of factors. They allow institutions to create different micro courses, partitionate what's learning cycles used to be, offer flexible and personalized value propositions to learn different courses and build their own profiles. And we are helping them evaluate how is that credentials helping them get employed. So the big question we're asking each and every institution is, are your programs leading to jobs? So that's a big question I want you all to remember and see how we are sharing and helping those institutions through my credentials to answer this question. Just a brief introduction of who we are. We're a group. We've been working together for the last 15 to 20 years. We've done and worked in several companies and industries. We've worked with massive consumption marketplaces, many companies such as Mercado Libre, Coca-Cola, and about a year and a half ago, we started with POK. We're currently working with more than 800 institutions. We're in more than 19 countries. We partner up with some key players and standards within the market, such as OneTech, Europass. We comply with GDPR, and we're working. Our main goal is to work towards interoperability in the different markets. So, first question, and the first thing that differentiates us from any other platform today is that we work on blockchain and the other platforms do not work on blockchain. So, what's the blockchain at the end of the day? Why is it so important? And basically, we're all talking that education is transforming, institutions are transforming. And in that sense, we're all talking that there are many possible scenarios in the future. So what will happen with academic records if institutions disappear, institutions transform? The student at the end of the day is not the owner of the certificate, the credential, the micro-credential. So basically what blockchain guarantees and helps us is to have a decentralized solution compared to a centralized solution. So at the end of the day, we can have the confirmation that the credential will always outlive any scenario that might happen in the future. So that's why blockchain can help us in this sense. What's the difference between what everyone else is doing and what we're doing is everyone else is either issuing digital certificates or issuing hashes on blockchain, which is a code associated to a credential which is not on blockchain. So at the end of the day, their solution is also centralized. What we're doing is actually issuing the credential as an NFT, as it was digital art or a non-fungible token. So the credential is actually in the blockchain and can be checked, verified, and shared in that sense. So why is it important that we work credentials and micro-credentials as NFTs in the blockchain? Basically because all information cannot be tampered, cannot be destroyed. There's no risk of loss. It's forever accessible, and there are no vendors locking, and the credential does not depend about anyone. So first value proposition from our side is we work actually with Volume, which is layer 2 of Ethereum. That guarantees us lots of security, accessible. We can transfer and issue as many credentials as we want throughout the day. So as in a traffic in a sense way, is one of the best blockchain to work on. And you can ask any vendor of credentials which blockchain they work, and they will not be able to answer the question as in this sense. We also do a cryptographic validation of each one of the institutions or clients that work with us. Basically, we ensure that they are who they say they are through a DNS and a social account validation. We verify their official website and their LinkedIn account. So basically, we know they are who they are in that sense. And anyone that verifies their credentials can also add the guarantee of who they are. This is an example of how a student can validate their credential. Basically, they insert their last name initially. So they need to validate that their last name actually matches the credential that's been issued with them. So they also have a security in that sense to ensure that they are the owners. And all the same credentials come with all the metadata included and also assured in the blockchain. So basically all the description, skills, requirements, criteria, and so on that's been included in that sense. So this is the most important thing, because as we're seeing, we're moving from a degree evaluation of people to a skill-based evaluation. So the skills and this metadata that is included within the credential is the most important thing that needs to be shared for anyone to value and evaluate that person in the future or to present those credentials. Of course, the platform also helps create this learning pathway, so you can create different micro-credentials to finally obtain a certificate of final accreditation. And we also have everything that's related with analytics of understanding those kind of learning pathways. So how many people started that learning pathway, how many students finished the learning pathway, how many students at least got one of the learning pathways, and we start working based on information and data. So which are the learning pathways that are being completed, which ones are not, which are the micro-credentials that every student can obtain, which ones are the hardest ones to obtain, and can start working based on information in that sense. So this is one really key aspect of what we're doing. The second value proposition from our side is we are completely white label. So we're just the back end of everything that goes on, and the institution is the front end. So we work with this branding and marketing side from the institution. So everything that the student sees, interacts, and receives is being created and designed by the same institution. So we work with kind of like what we like to say is every single student that receives a credential is an ambassador for the institution, because they share that credential, they use it to get a job, and they, of course, share their credential with their community. So basically, the institution can personalize the entire flow of experience. And what I say by this is you can create your own personal emails, full branding control of what's being shared, messages, links, images, dynamic content that goes changing. So you can include the name of each one of the students. You can include different dynamic information that goes for each student independently, and you can start creating different communications and interacting in different ways. As an example, you can see here how, for example, ASU GSV issued credentials this year and shared recognitions with each one of the participants that was able to be there at the event. And basically, each one of the credentials or landing pages you can associate with each credential can also come with ads in that website. So basically, when the credential is being verified, you can include different ads which are trackable. Could be links, videos, downloadable information, reselling, or use it to upsell different courses and showcase different CTAs or call to actions to share different information. So basically, you can show different communications for each course. So each course could go with each different page. And of course, everything that's being shared and evaluated by each company, in this case, or CTA, can be also measured as seen here. So basically, you can measure the engagement of each one of your marketing campaigns through credentials. How many people viewed, shared, access to credentials, how much traffic you created, which one of your ads performed better. So basically, you start working with organic marketing through credentials in that sense. What we're doing is trying to create an asset for the institution through credentials. So the third and biggest differentiation we have today is, and the question we're trying to answer is, are your programs leading to jobs? And what we identify is every single credential platform was focused on the benefits for the student. Why is it important for them to receive a credential, which we also find super important? They can receive a recognition based on skills, which is shareable, verifiable, and can lead them to a job. That's amazing. But what are the benefits for the institution? Why is the institution using a credential platform to issue their recognitions, or why are they paying for a credit to issue credentials? So that's a question we started off, and this is how we are answering actually, and we're leading to really interesting insights in this sense. So basically, we're able to crack an integration with LinkedIn in this sense, and we're able to track economic mobility once the credential starts being shared. So we can track the professional progress of each one of the students, and we can share that information with the institution to know what goes on once a student finishes the courses or careers with them. We can share them if they got a new job, if they got a promotion, how long it took them to get a job, what kind of company hired them, what position are they working in. They can see this in a general way. So basically, how many credentials have been shared, how many jobs have been created, how many of those jobs have been new, how many of those are promotions, and what is the average day of impact of their credential, basically. And they can see this in a more granular way in that sense. So basically, you can start identifying and seeing a list of each one of the courses you've issued, of each one of the students you've been certified, who of those students have shared and added that credential to their LinkedIn profile. And of those students that have shared their credential, you can access the professional profile and start seeing how are they evolving. So basically, we're opening this super interesting black box to understand what goes on with the students once they finish the course. In a way, it doesn't create friction or doesn't include surveys or doesn't include scrapping their LinkedIn's one by one or calling them or any kind of formula that's been used so far to identify what goes on with the students. So basically, we're accessing this super important information for the students. As said, you can go use different filters to go through different courses and different certifications and start working based on this information as well. You can filter with dates and so on. And here, as you've seen on the table, you can go by date, by design, by student or receiver, by jobs, and by posts as well. And what we're trying and helping institutions to create basically is what percentage of your students get employed after finishing each one of the courses. And this will be the final information we will be including in this sense. So basically, what's the percentage of employed people after finishing the course? What's your real impact and how are we measuring that impact towards student? So basically, at the end of the day, what we're doing is we're tokenizing the credential to become an asset for the institution by which they can ensure and maintain their reputation and prestige because they can have complete control of what credentials are being issued by that institution using the blockchain. We are helping them create marketing campaigns through credentials because they can personalize the entire flow of experience and measure that impact of marketing through the community of the student. And we're helping them understand the economic mobility of their students when they finish the courses. Through that information, we can give them and start working to which courses are creating more employability, which courses are not, where to allocate more resource, where to allocate more budget, and so on. Finally, last sort of information, we also developed a student holder passport or portfolio, basically. Each one of the students, once they receive a credential from POK, they can also create their own passport or portfolio. Basically, they can make public or private the credentials they've received throughout their history, and they can decide to whom to share that profile. So basically, as seen here, I received 24 credentials. I'm only making public, in this case, 3, and I could share those 3 credentials only with whomever I wanted, employee, community, or decide just to show those 3 credentials because are the ones that I are most proud of or want to share. And I can start sharing that and not depend only on LinkedIn. So basically, this gives complete independence for the student or the receiver to share the recognitions and credentials throughout time, basically. Thank you very much for the time. I hope to have added lots of value for what I've shared. More than open to any kind of question. And here are my data and contact information if you want to just reach me out.
Great. Thank you, Larry. Thank you for the presentation. Let me take 2 minutes and also I'm gonna answer Gleb's question. Then we're gonna have more questions for Larry too. So Gleb is asking for the integration with between POC and OpenEdX, and let me show you a really quick video. So at Aulasneo, we have made the OpenEdX POC integration, which is going to be open source. It's almost ready. We just need to adjust the final details, but probably next week it's going to be ready. So let me share my screen here. So I'm going to take 2 minutes to show how the OpenEdX and the POC presentation works. So this is the integration we've done. We have access a course. We have, well, just one question for this example. We finished the course on OpenEdX. We request the certificate, right? And then well, you can go to the progress tab, and here you can view the certificate, right? In this case, this is an NFT certificate, so it takes a couple of seconds, minutes to be generated. And we get the certificate. We get a first a preview of the certificate, and then we can go now access the details of the certificate. In this case, we can well validate the identity of the student. In this case, using the last name. Once it is validated, the certificate can be well shared, and also can be downloaded in PDF, on a PNG. You can share it on LinkedIn. And in this case, as it is an NFT, well, here you see the organization that has issued, in case this is us. And also, as it is an NFT, you can see the details of the contract, right, on the blockchain, on the certificate, the institution that has issued the certificate, when it was issued, and this is going to be there forever, right? And also you can see actually the actual contract details of the NFT, right? I'm not an expert in this part, but I know it's going to be there and it's going to be and remain there, right? So this is the integration we've done. Then you just click on go back, and you come back to the OpenEdX platform, and every place where you see view my certificates is gonna send you directly to the preview first, and then you can go and see the certificate details. This is backed by POC. Also the same in the dashboard. If you see your certificate there, it's gonna be there. So this is the video I wanted to share that didn't work out at the first attempt, right? I'm gonna share this one anyway with the recordings after the session. And also let me add just one other thing on the POC side. Something that I think Larry, well, we have a very short time here, so wasn't able to cover that much. But so let me share with you one interesting thing that this integration provides is that so when you want to generate the different certificates, right, the different look and feel, you have the ability to create different templates on POC, and then when you work on the integration, you can indicate in the OpenEdX platform, okay, which certificate is going to be linked to which course. And this is a like a Canva style edition, right? So you can add a logo, you can just play around with the text. You also have some attributes to add, the date, who is signing. So basically here we have already, well, a couple of use cases in progress, in production, that they can design their own certificate without needing to access any HTML templates somewhere hidden in the platform. You just, any ordinary user can just play around here with the templates, and then you just go ahead and link this, so link the different credential on look and feel to a particular course. And in that way, well, it facilitates a lot this part that is typically it typically requires some technical resources to customize the look and feel of a certificate. Here you don't need much technical expertise, so I think that's a great advantage of the integration.
Hi everybody.
Hello.
Are we audible?
Yes.
Hi, welcome to everyone taking part in this session. And thank you, Larry, for that wonderful insight on blockchain credentialing. It was very insightful for us. And I just want to introduce myself briefly. My name is Joseph Abraham, a credentialing solutions advisor. And today I will be your host. With me is my teammate, Andrea, who also a credentialing solutions advisor. Professional potential with integrity and ease. So Talview is widely recognized as a leader in proctoring and assessment software, thanks to our exceptional customer satisfaction. Our reputation as a market leader is also further recognized by G2. At Talview, our innovations are driven by our customers, earning us multiple accolades for delivering exceptional service that puts their success first. So Talview has assessed and proctored over 20 million candidates across 120 plus countries. And we have partnered with some big names such as NVIDIA, Meta, Shopify, and even the University of Cambridge. So over here, you can see that, Talview is capable of seamlessly integrating with any. You can see that we work well with a few top LMS platforms such as Canvas, Moodle, Skilljar, and even Google Classroom. So if you're already using any of these, we can easily integrate our solutions into your platform. We also have payment gateways through which payments can be done to book the exhibition slot. And another cool feature is that we seamlessly integrate with Credly to offer digital badges. So if you really want to post on LinkedIn for any certification, Talview's got your back. So now we'll be discussing about the key challenges in remote proctoring, where most organizations are facing integrity related issues due to the vast number of AI tools helping candidates cheat during interviews or assessments. Another issue is, reaching geographically dispersed learners, which is also scalability issues where they're not able to provide enough support for learners living in further regions and would require them to come and take an in-person tests. Another challenge is the data security, where a lot of data tends to go missing or is not protected. High cost is also another challenge that we see in today's industry, since most proctoring solutions are very expensive. So to find a good proctoring solution at an affordable rate is pretty challenging. And another challenge that I see in today's industry is, how it's hard to make a switch to a digital environment, since most people are comfortable with their current solutions and they tend to fall behind with all the latest technology that is available to breach them. And finally, unavailability of scalable options, where not a lot of proctoring solutions are available to scale up their examinations when there is a high demand. So over here, we are discussing about how our platform offers a comprehensive suite of features designed to streamline and secure the assessment process. These include a booking and payment module, enabling candidates to schedule their assessments upon completing the payment. A secure testing environment with multi-level checks such as photo ID verification and a 360-degree room scan to ensure test integrity. Robust assess and monitor capabilities that include the different types of remote solutions, which we will be discussing a little more in detail in the next slide, which covers the various remote proctoring solutions. A review and compliance framework that generates detailed flags and recordings for post-assessment review. And finally, analytics and insights, which delivers in-depth session reports to support informed decision-making. So over here, the different online proctoring solutions that we provide at Talview are a recorded proctoring, which is a fully automated AI-enabled solution and can detect any malpractice instance and immediately flags a candidate for an instance of cheating. A live proctoring solution, which is a combination of both an automated as well as a live proctor who would be monitoring the assessment on a real-time basis. So you would be getting proctor alerts as well as AI alerts. The next being a record and review, which records the entire session duration of the assessment and can be reviewed later. So even in this, it's a combination of AI and a human proctor, but the only difference is the human proctor reviews the assessment post the session. And finally, Alvy, the world's first AI agent powered by leading LLMs. Alvy is able to detect 8 times better than the traditional system. It works 24/7 and can proctor multiple candidates at a time. If you're interested to know more about Alvy, we would be having another session next week as well to discuss about Alvy more in detail. So whoever is interested to take part in that, feel free to connect with us post this session in the living room area. So Talview offers a range of key benefits designed to support both institutions and candidates throughout the assessment process. We begin with a multiple layer for protection of content and exam integrity, which ensures a high level of exam integrity through secure handling of candidate data and assessment content. Superior exam experience. Our platform is intuitive, user-friendly, and accessible to users across all technical skill levels. Affordable pricing using AI for proctor assistance. It consists of a flexible and affordable pricing model tailored to meet your specific institutional needs. It can easily integrate with engines and LMSs. So our solutions integrate effortlessly with most LMS platforms, as I've mentioned earlier, enabling a smooth adoption. And we move to the advanced impersonation detection, which consists of built-in AI capabilities to detect and prevent candidate impersonation and fraud. Finally, a 24/7 global support. We have a dedicated support and service team available around the clock to address any questions or technical issues. So now I'll be handing it over to Andrea, who would go a little more in detail about our remote proctoring solutions. Thank you.
So hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on this webinar, and thank you so much edX for hosting us. So going into detail, this is the steps that and features that every remote proctoring solution provides, in Talview. So we start off with authentication, and we have few steps that ensures that the test taker that registered for your examination is the one that is attempting the same. So one, we have face authentication. So a live picture of the candidate will be taken. And this will have to be matching the ID card photo that is also taken in the step. So second one, we go to validation. So in our 4 different types of proctoring solution, each step is validated by AI tools. But in the case of live proctoring, the human proctor will be the one validating each step. So whether it's face photo match or ID card match, the human proctor will be the one validating the same. Step 3, custom alerts and flags. So in case, the test taker attempts at any kind of malpractice, flags will be generated for the same. But these flags are fully customizable, whether you want a new malpractice to be added or, removed, that can be done according to your institution's requirement. Step 4, active intervention. So, in case of live proctoring and, there is a student that is cheating, the human proctor has the option to, immediately intervene the test and, pause the test and inform the test taker that, a malpractice attempt has been identified and not repeat the same again. And fifth one, reports with ProView index. So this is a report that is generated immediately after the candidate or the test taker has submitted the assessment. And we also provides a summary of the whole assessment, like right from when the test taker enters into the examination until he or she submits. We provide a report of flags, when they've given permissions and so on and so forth. And along with this is an integrity score given. Basically, we give a scoring out of high, medium, and low. So it basically tells how well the test taker has done the exam with the number of malpractice attempts as well. So right now, we're just going to highlight a few, authentication steps that we have in all of our remote proctoring solutions, and these can be added or removed according to the severity of your examination. So one, we have real-time candidate verification. So a live ID card capture would be taken. So for the case of exams, we'll be requiring a valid government ID with, a picture and the first and last name mentioned. And the picture and the first and last name will also have to match with the person sitting in front. So the AI proctoring solution as well as the live proctor can validate both at the same time. Second step that we have is a 360 test environment, which consists of 2 steps. So a 360 recording will be done in real time that shows the table, the ceiling, the flow, as well as all four walls, with the room within which the test taker is taking the examination. So this is again done to make sure there's no unauthorized material or another person or an unauthorized device, that can assist the test taker at any point during the examination. So secondary camera is an additional feature, but like a highly recommended one. So what this does is this provides a wider view of the examination environment that the test taker is in. So if you can see the screenshot that we have on the left side, the primary camera, so that's basically the camera built in your system, they would just capture the test taker sitting in front. But what the secondary camera captures is then a wider view of the test environment. So it captures the fingers, the camera, the system, and the environment as well. So live screen share is also a step in authentication and validation before the assessment starts for the candidate. So over here, Talview's remote proctoring solution requires every candidate to share their entire screen, not just a window, not just an application, but their entire screen in order to proceed on to their assessment. So over here is just, a few flags, preset flags that, I think it shows the most common types of malpractice attempts, for an online examination. So these flags, again, are fully customizable, can be removed, can be added according to your requirement as well. And on the left side, as you can see, is just a log of, different types of malpractice attempts, and they're also colored. So the color signifies the severity of the flag of the malpractice attempt. So red signifies a high level of severity, and yellow signifies a low or medium level of severity. So over here is the playback view, or the ProView report that an exam administrator would be having access to once a test taker submits the examination. So this is just a screen grab for the purpose of this demo. But in real time, the exam administrator would have the entire live feed of the examination, along with a summary of the different logs, right from when permissions are given to flags generated until he or she submits the examination. And also on the bottom, there is image and screenshots. So our proctoring solutions will be capturing screenshots at 10-second intervals, and will also capture when a flag is being generated. So in case a student, for example, and a test taker comes and argues that, they were not informed, the ProView report will be able to, counter argue these claims. So handing it over back to Joseph to see the most common use cases of Talview's remote proctoring solution.
Thank you, Andrea. So now we'll be discussing, the use cases of where our solutions will come in handy, beginning with training and certification boards. So for certification exams, it's important to know the right person is taking the test. So with our smart AI proctoring in the background, you can trust the results are fair and honest. The next being universities. Online exams should feel just as safe as real, classroom ones. Our tools make that possible, while still keeping things easy and stress-free for students. Assessment providers is another use case. So whether you're testing 10 people or thousands, the system scales smoothly and keeps every session secure, with AI doing the heavy lifting. And finally, e-learning platforms. Where learning happens online, testing should too, but with the same trust. Our AI makes sure each test is done fairly, so learning stays meaningful. So we would be concluding the presentation with a Q&A session where you can feel free to ask us any questions in the chat box below. We would love to see and answer all your questions as well.
Great. Thank you, Joseph
Thank
and
you.
Andrea. It was great presentation. Let's see if someone has any doubts, any questions. Please feel free to write them down in the room chat. Seconds. So also please remember the speakers will be available after the next session and the next presentation. So carpet E is going to be for POC, carpet D is going to be for Talview, and carpet C for Project Now. All right.
So hi everyone, thank you for waiting for the last session. we are going to talk in here. I'm Pedro from a national institution in Portugal that is responsible for the science. And we have one of the services, a MOOC platform that is based on Open edX. We already started this in 2019. My partner in here, it's going to be Kate. Kate is going to speak a little bit further about this process. And since we are lack of time, just to give you a little bit of context regarding our platform, that is Portuguese based. Since we have a lot of platforms in other languages, we thought that the Portuguese could be a nice feature to have, mainly for Portugal, because we are based in Portugal, but we see that a lot of countries that speak the Portuguese language also use our platform. Currently, we have 400,000 users registered, and we have a lot of courses created by our entities, by our partners. Currently, this year, we have so far 26 partners that are quite active, so a little bit more than 1/3 of the total members that we have. We already reached more than 1 million enrollments this year. And of course, with all this relationship that we have with the community, not just the partners, but also the users, one of the things that we found important was to create a gamified experience in the edX platform. We knew from previous years that Raccoon Gang already tried to create something for the Open edX community, and that's the reason why we contact Raccoon Gang to help us build that for the community, because since we are a governmental institution, we are obliged for the question of having open source software and so on. And the other reason, besides our partners to ask for the gamification, it was we wanted to reach a younger audience, because most of our users are in between the 35 years old and 55 years old. And that was one of the reasons why we wanted to go for the gamification. So I'm going to let now the floor to Kate, because she has more added value in here to speak about the gamification and the process that we did with them.
Thank you, Pedro. Hi, everyone. My name is Kate. I'm a program manager at Raccoon Gang, and I'm really excited to be here. This is my first time. And I'm really excited to talk about something fun. So yes, we are going to talk about gamification. And this is the story how now Raccoon Gang teamed up to bring more fun and more joy, motivation, and progress tracking into online learning, while keeping everything open source and scalable. So yeah, meet Raccoon Gang. We are co-contributors, Open edX partner with over 55 million learners served across platforms, and we are proud of almost 100 uptime. We've done almost everything from hosting and theming to mobile apps, and of course gamification, as you can see. So actually, why gamification? Because let's be honest, online learning can be sometimes a lonely place. We scroll, we click, we forget we even enrolled. And gamification helps us fight that. It increases motivation, improves completion rates, and gives your learning ROI a healthy boost. And it doesn't have to be to feel like a game. It just has to feel rewarding. So we built our system around three behaviors. Staying on the platform, finish the course, come back for more, and not ghost us after a unit. Being successful, not just dragging through, but actually performing well. Building community, because learning together is much more better than learning alone. Simple goals and powerful impact. What drives engagement? To make that happen, we tapped into learners' needs. People want to feel progress. They want autonomy. They want to express themselves. And let's face it, some people just love to win. We turned those humans' needs into tools that we are using in our open source gamification. So let's walk through them. First of all, avatars. So I personally think that this is the most significant feature we developed. Like improved. Learners get to choose their avatar, and the avatar evolves with their success. Basically, it's like Tamagotchi, but it fits on your knowledge instead of button action. As the learner grows, so does their character. Given a visible sense of progress. Here we have like 5 steps of the evolution, but it's not limited to. You can add more. And it's also a fun way to create identity inside the platform. Our avatar has an evolution based on points earning. A learner can choose a view of the avatar and easily change it whenever he or she wants. So basically for our platform, we've designed 3 types of avatars, but as I told like before, it's not limited to. The admin can download other sets of avatar, and we decided to have a tile as a national symbol of Portugal. We decided to have robot for technical courses and creature for humanitarian domain. The next tool is badges. So they are more than just like digital stickers. They show accomplishments. Completing a course, getting a streak of correct answers, being active in the discussion forums. Badges motivate, they can even showcase skills outside the platform. Points. We've got also points, the universal currency of progress. Points give instant feedback, reward effort, and keep learners coming back. We can also weight them by task type. For example, completing a unit might earn you like 2 points, but completing a quiz gets you 10 points. One day, who knows, maybe you can even redeem these points for coffee or kind of like virtual coffee, or maybe you can buy a t-shirt for your avatar or other stuff. So yeah, they're thinking about some marketplace in the future. So yeah, they have also performance dashboard. Performance dashboard, of course, what's the point of earning something if you cannot see it? So we built a performance dashboard where learners can see their progress. They can track their points, they can monitor avatar evolution. So here we can see like the last stage of the evolution that learner gains. See what wages they've earned and what wages they can earn in the future, and follow their activity trends. So it's like a fitness tracker, but for your brain, actually. Leaderboards. Yes, we have leaderboards, and not to create stress, but to create friendly motivation. They are platformized and course specific, so each class becomes its own community. And consistent effort really pays off. No one hit wonders at the top. Let's talk a little bit about admin interface. We made it super easy and flexible. So we didn't want to build something complicated to change every rule. So we made the admin interface simple and flexible with full control over avatars, badges, points, and evolution logic. So as you can see here, like there are some information about badges setup, also about some avatar setup. So basically, you can, with just few clicks, you can set up everything from the admin side. You can add, remove, customize badges, upload images, set rules, filter by course organization, do the same with avatars, even build theme sets of specific courses. Basically, you can run an entire gamified system without calling your like dev team crying. That's a win. To sum it up, what I want to say to wrap up, gamification is fully integrated with OpenEdX. The admin interface is user-friendly and flexible. It's already open source, we did it, and customizable. And most importantly, it makes learning more fun and engaging. Here, I will share like the links to the presentation, and I can share the links to the videos. But here we can see, like, we can watch some videos of students' experience, admin experience. Our team has already prepared a user guide how to set up the gamification, and some manual how to how to deploy gamification on your OpenEdX platform. So thank you. Thank you very much for listening. I believe gamification has a place in every learning platform. It's pretty easy and open to everybody. It's now easier than even to start using it. So we hope this inspires you to try it, tweak it, or even contribute back. So let's make learning fun again together. Pedro, your turn, I guess.
Yeah, just to wrap up from our side as well.
Sorry.
No worries. Yeah, we had a limited budget for this project, so it was quite an achievement that we have reached. There are a lot of ideas that we had, but we didn't have enough budget to pursue to continue. Of course, also Raccoon Gang gave us some of their own budget to create the system that we have, this solution that we have so far, and it's open source. So we expect that the community could get along with us, and also during the Open edX conference in July, sorry. So we could perhaps gather some more forces to improve the gamified experience, to test it. And of course, we are going to be in the carpet that Esteban has mentioned, but I forgot. So we could speak a little bit further about this topic, because it's already we have already passed 1 minute from our time.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
carpet C, Pedro. Yeah.
Thank you.
Great. So Kate and Pedro, thank you very much for your presentation. Looking forward also to investigate that very interesting and very demanded feature along the years. So hopefully we can all contribute to that. OpenAI has a good open source alternative to add some gamification features. That's been requested for many times. So, and also thank you very much for the respecting the time. And I know it's tough because these projects have lots of things to talk about. So I really appreciate on that. And let's see if we have any questions for the last speakers. If not, we'll be concluding this presentation phase, and I want to thank everyone for being here, and let's continue the conversation in the main room. Carpet area, so POC team is going to be in carpet E, Talview is going to be in carpet D, and Raccoon Gang is going to be in carpet C. Okay, thank you very much, and great to see you. Bye-bye.